Here's the wild part about midlife. It's not the things you did that haunt you. It's the things you never gave yourself permission to do. The dreams you quietly walked away from, the parts of you that got buried under responsibility, and the joy you convinced yourself you'd come back to someday. Today, we're diving into the regrets most people don't admit out loud, but feel every dang day. And trust me, you're going to see yourself in at least one of them. I know I did. Hi, friend. Welcome to the Say Yes Experience. I'm your host, Jessica Rector. If you've been here before, welcome back. If this is your first time joining us, welcome, welcome. If you tuned in last week and thought the first 5 regrets were eye-opening, buckle up, baby, because these next 5 are the ones that hit a little deeper. The ones you don't talk about at dinner, the ones you push down because life's been too busy, too loud, or too demanding for you to even deal with them. But here's the beautiful thing. You're here now. You're listening, you're curious, and that means something inside you is ready for more. These regrets aren't here to knock you down, they're here to wake you up. Because once you see them, you can catch them before they become part of your story. So let's get to it. Let's start with the regret that honestly, almost everyone I work with is carrying around quietly. If you didn't hear the first 5 biggest midlife regrets, make sure you go back and listen to that podcast that we did last week. Because today we're starting with number 6, which is letting fear of judgment run the show. This is one of the most universal regrets. You shrink yourself because of what someone might think. They might criticize, they might misunderstand, they might laugh, they might reject, they might judge. We've all been there. We've been there lots and lots and lots of time. But how often is it still coming up for you? So you decide to not do something out of fear of what someone else's opinion might be. But here's the truth. Most people are too busy thinking about their own lives to care about yours. And the ones who judge, they are usually the ones not doing anything bold themselves. Now, this was a massive, big fear that came up whenever I recently did my 100 days as Say Yes experiences. I felt that fear of what are people going to say? What are they going to think? And I thought I had tackled it many years ago whenever I was pregnant with Blaze without being married. I went through a lot of inner turmoil about what are people going to think about me? How are they going to judge me based on that? And I thought I had done all of that work around the fear of being judged. Well, then when I recently did our 100 days of Say Yes experiences, I realized that there's still some work to be done on that. I was feeling in certain instances on those 100 days that I would be judged. And it held me back until I broke through that and said, it doesn't matter what people think. It doesn't matter what people are going to say. When I walked around the busiest area in Fort Worth in a bikini with my young son being the videographer, he kept saying, do we have to do this? I don't want to do this. Do we have to do it? And hearing him, it was getting in my head so much that I thought, oh my gosh, people are going to judge me. People are going to think different of me. What are they going to say? And then at one point during it, I said, Blaze, are you getting people's reactions? Are you filming their expressions? And he said, they're not really looking. And it was such a light bulb moment that people don't pay attention to us as much as we think they pay attention to us. They may have a fleeting thought, but then they go right on with their own lives. They have their own challenges and issues and struggles that they're dealing with. They're not focused on us, just like the reverse is true. If you're selling a house, you may know 20 realtors, but yet when you're selling your house or wanting to buy a house, no one pops in your head because you're not thinking about other people as much as they think you're thinking about them. So, how has fear of judgment held you back and kept you exactly where you are instead of going out there and doing what you want to be doing, chasing your dreams, going after goals, being in a certain relationship, applying for a job, sharing your voice or your idea or your opinion? Or how has that fear of judgment held you back? So think about how that's impacting your life. Maybe you haven't changed careers because what is someone going to say? Or you haven't started your business because your family thinks it's not going to succeed, or you don't post or create or share or express because of what are the comments going to be, or what are they going to say if I do? Maybe you want to completely change your lifestyles, but you don't want to seem weird or extra. So you stay in the way that people know you as, or they think of you as. And so you're not really showing up as you. You make choices that fit in rather than stand out, because standing out draws too much attention. Are they going to judge you for being unusual or not like them? Will you lose friends? So all these things go through our heads. And I know for a while, for me, I got to this point that I was hesitant to be me because people had known who I was a certain way throughout my life. And if I show up really as me, it's not who they think they know. It's not who the perception of me is to them. They think they know me a certain way. And if I really show up as my true self, they realize that they don't really know me at all. Or if I start revealing parts of myself, what are they going to think? So then I found myself being who they thought I was whenever I was around them, realizing, but that's not really me. Like, I get excited. I have lots of energy. Why am I not portraying myself that way? Why am I kind of shutting those parts of me down to be who I think they want me to be? So I fit in. So they like me better, because being too loud, being too energetic, being too excitable makes them feel uneasy and uncomfortable. And I realized that I wasn't showing up as myself in those situations. And I changed it because I realized life is too short to show up as anyone other than yourself. If they don't like me, great. If they do, great. They don't have to be around me. They don't have to talk to me. And that's all okay. You get to this point in life and you realize that you've lived for other people's imagined opinions and not your real desires. You've lived for what you think they may think and not really what you want or how you are. So, where is fear of judgment showing up in your life and keeping you from doing something or trying an experience, a job or a relationship, or keeping you from really being who you are? Number 7 is ignoring the body and mind. This regret becomes crystal clear in midlife when your body stops whispering and it starts screaming. You spent years telling yourself, I'm fine, I'm just tired, I'll get to it later. Everyone feels this way. This is just life. And it wasn't fine. You weren't listening, and you don't feel like yourself. Now, think of it this way. Some of it might be that you work through burnout because rest feels selfish. It's imperative to rest, or maybe you buy into the mentality of you just work, work, work. Doesn't matter if you're burned out, it doesn't matter if you're stressed, keep pushing through. Some of that old school mentality, it doesn't work anymore. You ignore stress until it turns into anxiety, and then anxiety turns into you shutting down, and then you asking yourself, why is this happening? Or I don't even know why this happened. You let your physical health slide because you prioritized everyone and everything else. And then you wake up one day and your physical health isn't what it used to be. And it's not what you want it to be, whether that's your weight, whether that's your cholesterol level, whether it's you are having symptoms that you're not paying attention to and you're putting off going to the doctor. So physical health is important. You only have one body. It's time you start taking care of it. Just like you only have one mind, it's time you start taking care of that too. And your body and mind are synced together. So you got to take care of both, or you're not taking care of either of them. Maybe you're not setting boundaries at work, with your family, or other demands. You keep saying yes when you really want to say no. Start saying no. Stop doing the things that don't get you excited, that don't light you up, that don't fill you with joy. Stop feeling like that you have to do it out of obligation. There's no obligation. Only you're the one that's feeling that way. Want your event to do more than just motivate? Want it to transform? Hi, I'm Jessica Rector, CEO of the Say Yes Experience, #1 best-selling author, and the keynote speaker and experience creator companies call when they're serious about change. I don't just speak, I'm known to move people. From the main stage to custom Say Yes Experience team building events, your group will crush comfort zones, ignite connection, and fuel mental wellness and peak potential, all while having the kind of fun that actually sticks. Whether it's a leadership summit, company offsite, or all hands meeting, we bring immersive, energizing experiences that unlock what's next for your people and business. So if you're ready to ditch burnout and lead your team into bold action and a Say Yes culture, book me now at jessicarector.com or email me at jessica@jessicarector.com. And hey, subscribe to the Say Yes Experience podcast right here. It's where the movement starts.
You've heard of a bucket list, things you want to do before you die, right? At the Say Yes Experience, we believe in something truly more powerful, the Say Yes bucket list, the things you want to do to truly start living. It's about feeling alive, breaking out of routine, and turning someday into right now. We've created a free Say Yes bucket list template to help you get started, so you can move to ideas to action and start saying yes to light the things that light your fire. So don't wait to truly start living, and download your free template today.
If they judge you because you don't want to do it, then that's on them. That's their issue. That's not yours. You're not responsible for other people's emotions and feelings. You're responsible for showing up as your best you, and start setting boundaries of what you want to do and saying no to the things that you don't want to do, and start treating your body like it matters, like it's important. And especially when you hit midlife and you start gaining the weight, your hormones start changing, your mood starts being impacted. All of these different adjustments start to come into play. You have to be mindful of what you're putting in your body. I know I used to eat 7 scoops of ice cream 7 days a week for 7 months while I was pregnant. When Blaze was born, I then ate 5 scoops of ice cream 7 days a week for 5 years. And I realized that one night I went in, looked at all my different ice cream flavors, 9 of them to be exact, and none of them looked good. And I looked at a bowl of fruit on the counter. I said, I've got to start eating better. That night I ate yogurt and a cheese stick because I was on such autopilot that I would go to my freezer every night at 10:30 without even thinking about it, grab ice cream, scoop it up, and eat it. It was such a routine for me. So looking at that bowl of fruit literally hijacked my thought process and had me thinking different. Small little decisions that you make like that create massive big difference. I still love me some ice cream, but I don't eat it 7 days a week. I don't eat it 5 days a week, 1 or 2 at most, because you've got to start treating your body better. Pay attention to those signs that you're having. Go and get checked out. Go to the doctor. Don't put it off. If you're like most people in midlife, you start gaining weight, you're not sleeping well, you feel tense, stressed, moody, and it's up to you to change those things. And it's time to take care of your mind and your body. The small things make the biggest difference. Your health, mental, physical, emotional, is up to you. Drink more water, get more sleep. Think about what would happen if it did work out instead of thinking about what would happen if it didn't work out. Really put the positive aspects and ideas into your mind instead of dwelling on the negative. Let things go. They aren't that really big of a deal to begin with. Are you going to think about it in a year, and 5 years, and 10 years? Then let it go. You realize too late that health isn't guaranteed, and ignoring yourself has a cost. So, what has that cost been to you? And what do you need to focus on now pertaining to your body and your mind? Just a small step, one small thing you can do today to take care of yourself and of your health. Number 8 is not prioritizing joy. I know joy sounds simple, but it's one of the most neglected human needs. Adults are excellent at responsibility and terrible at joy. You become efficient, productive, dependable, and forget how to be alive. Yes, yes, yes. When B said, let's find things that light you up and bring you joy and make you happy again, it shook me because at that point, I didn't ever think about joy and I had no idea what it really looked like. None. Because I'd spent so many years taking care of him, working to pay the bills, I forgot about myself in the process. And it had been not 1 year, not 2 years, like decade of me being on autopilot going through the motions. These hobbies that you let die because there was always something more important. Tap into those hobbies. If you don't know what those hobbies are, start asking yourself, what do I like? What would I like to do? What would I like to try? What have I always thought would be cool? Take a dance class, pottery, plant flowers, woodworking, build something, put together a go-kart. Like, what kind of hobby do you want to do? 70% of your day is routine, meaning you're not even actively thinking about your day. It's all a routine that you have set up, your morning routine, your night routine, the things that go on throughout the day. Every Saturday, you're going to soccer or football or tennis for your kids, and you stop the play, the creativity, the silliness, the goofiness, the pleasure, the things that make you laugh so hard your side hurts. And you feel guilty anytime you do something fun because you have other things you should be doing. You got laundry, you got cleaning, you got taking care of the kids or taking them somewhere. There's always something to be done. But in midlife, when your kids start to get older, you can give that time back to yourself because realizing pleasure and excitement haven't been a part of your life for years is no way to live. Start adding more pleasure, add more excitement into your life. Think about what excites you. It might be years since you've actually thought about that, but what actually excites you? What gets you going? What makes you go, oh my gosh, yes, I can't wait to do that? Because living in serious mode for so long, you forgot to feel light. You don't have to be so serious, so intense. Invite more play, more goofiness, more silliness. Dance in the kitchen for no reason at all. Walk like a robot throughout your house just because. Just laugh. Literally, in the middle of your day, this is great stress reliever. In the middle of your day, just start laughing. And when you do that, it'll create more laughter. You might even find it hard to stop laughing, but have more fun, have more joy, fill yourself up. Find the things like Blaze and I did, those say yes experiences that bring you joy and make you happy again. Start off small. What's something that you really love? For me, it was ice cream. So we went to an ice cream place. Go and do it around town and then go and do something else like a kid. What would a kid do? We recently went to an all you can play arcade. They had the best games from when I grew up. Miss Pac-Man, Frogger, Go Digger, which I never even played, but I kind of got a little obsessed with. Oh my gosh, I sat there on those Donkey Kong, which I could not even remember how to play Donkey Kong. I got all the way to the top and couldn't remember like how to jump over. Oh, was frustrating. But go and play those games. Oh my gosh, we spent hours doing that, but just play, enjoy, have fun. Oh my gosh. You take the fun out of your days and it's what you need the most. So, how can you start inviting more play? Because you'll recognize that joy isn't childish, it's actually a necessity. When you choose joy, you're also choosing yourself. You spent so much time, so many years choosing others that you forgot about yourself along the way. So, what lights you up? What brings you joy? Because now is the time to find that out. And I get it if you don't know, because it had been so long when Blaze had said that I couldn't even tell you if somebody said, Jessica, what lights you up and brings you joy? I'd have to think about it. I don't really know. And now I can literally find joy and fun and excitement doing just about anything. But I also am one of those people that I get excited about everything. Like, oh my gosh, yes, let's go. I love that. I'm excited. Like, I get excited about the small things. The Say Yes experience is the movement that helps you adapt to change, enhance mental wellness, and stretch into what's possible. We tailor every experience to your specific challenges and goals, whether that's preventing burnout, building resilience, or creating a culture of bold action and connection. Whether it's a getaway with your friends or creating something for small teams to an entire organization, this is where transformation begins. Say yes to growth. Say yes to a custom experience designed just for you. Let's build and develop your own Say Yes experience at jessicarector.com. This episode is sponsored by. Wish you could hit pause, catch a breath, and leave the rat race behind for a while? You can. Come check out Breakspace, a global community where mid-career professionals just like you are creating life-changing breaks every day. Founded by two leading break experts, this one-of-a-kind resource is your go-to for all things career break. With hands-on coaching, dynamic courses, and genuine connection, you don't have to go at it alone. Visit gobreakspace.com to learn more and join today. So this is your permission to go explore, to discover, to try new hobbies, restaurant, adrenaline experiences. Just get out there and find what really lights you up from the inside. And if you don't know, just go and dabble in different things until you find it. Number 9 biggest regret is losing yourself in roles. People lose themselves by being everything to everyone except for themselves. Roles slowly replace your identity. Parent, employee, boss, provider, partner, caretaker, fixer, leader. You stop being you and you become what everybody else needs. You become that role to what everybody else needs at that specific time. So you become the provider. So you fully forget about your passions in the process because you're busy making money to put food on the table, to have a house for your family to live in. You become the provider for their needs and you forget about yourself in the process. Or you become the emotional support for everyone and leave nothing for yourself. So when it becomes time for you to need that emotional support, you don't have any left to give to yourself. Or you're the parent who forgets who they were before you ever had kids. The one who likes to go to concert and dance while music is playing. The one who likes to go out with friends and be goofy and just start singing at the top of your lungs in the car. You let your identity revolve around other people's expectations and who they expect or want you to be, that you lose yourself along the way and you forget who you really are. And I know for me that happened until Blaze came up with the idea of the Say Yes experience. I was so lost in providing for him and I was so lost in being a mom to him. I wasn't hanging out with friends. I wasn't going out on the weekends having a good time. I wasn't doing for myself because, especially when he was younger, he was a baby. I was his only parent. He needed me. And when I wasn't working, I wanted to spend time with him because he was a toddler and we'd go and do fun things together. But I never did things outside of spending time with him. Me as an adult, as a woman, I was busy taking care of him, trying to figure out this parenting thing. And then once he got a little bit older, I started hanging out more with friends, dated a little here and there, but never anything that would last because then I'd start to feel guilty because I was spending time away from him. But it was also important for me to spend time doing things that fulfill me, doing things that provide and give back to me. And that's why once he started getting a little bit older again, nine-ish, we started taking these trips. When he was about 5 or 6, we actually started taking vacations because it was something I enjoyed. I wanted to do. I wanted to go provide these experiences for myself and for him. So we started taking vacations to Disney. And I loved it. I loved to see his excitement. I hadn't been to Disney in so long, and I loved doing it. Started going skiing, teaching him how to ski. I'd only been skiing twice at that point in my life, and it allowed me to tap into that talent and that ability. And we did skiing for several years until we started doing these really big trips. And the really big trips was a way for me to give back to myself, for me to tap into the things that I enjoy, that I want to do, the adventures, and to going and exploring other countries, other cultures, other people. It was a way for me to give back to myself and also spend that quality time with him. But I was so lost in these roles for so many years without recognizing that I needed to do for me as well. When you look in the mirror, who do you see? Ask yourself, who are you outside of what everyone else thinks you are and outside of what you do for everyone else? What do you like and why do you like that? What do you want and why? Who do you want to be? Who do you want to become? Not only who do you want to be now, but who do you want to become? You got a lot of years left in life, friend. And who you want to become might not be the same person that you've been or who others think you are. You can decide to change at any point. You just have to want to. And your future self deserves the absolute best you in every capacity. So, how are you showing up? And what are you doing to make sure that you're showing up consistently and continuously as your best you? Friend, you are just getting started. You got so many amazing years left. Regret 10, not saying yes to what you want to do. Friend, you got so many amazing years left in you. You're just getting started. Regret 10 is not saying yes to what lit you up. This echoes in all aspects of your life. And it is something that you have been ignoring. The passion you dismissed, the dream you shelved, the calling you quieted, the thing that excited you that you never gave time to. So, not starting a business or a project or any kind of creative endeavor, or maybe not learning the skill or exploring the interest. You had this really amazing, great, big idea, but it felt impractical. So you said, nah, I'm just not going to do that. Although, oh, just the idea of it is super exciting. Or you didn't take the leap because it didn't fit the responsibility of what you have going on or the responsible image. So you convince yourself now that you're too old or too late or too busy. You're not, my friend, at all. So I follow this lady, Kim Hale, on TikTok. She sold all her stuff in LA and moved from LA to New York in her 50s to dance. And she says she gave up dancing years ago and she wanted to get back to it. And it was her dream ever since that she was a child. And it's so inspiring watching her. She moved all the way across country, not knowing what she was going to be doing, but just for the fact to follow her dream. She had no plan in place. And she's gotten some commercials and she landed a primary role in a play. And I love it because it just shows us and continues to reiterate to us that it's never too late. You're never too old. You're never too busy. If it is something that you want, there's always a way to make it happen. You don't have to have a plan in place. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to say yes and then go and do it. You're still here, right? Of course you are, because you're listening to this. So it's never too late to go after dreams. It's never too late to create new dreams, to follow them. It's incredible what can happen when you open your mind to discovering possibilities. This regret is powerful because it reminds you that your spark never actually left. You just stopped feeding it. So what is your dream, friend? Because you have a dream. It might be somewhere deep inside of you that you have covered over, that you've put on the back burner, that you've forgotten about. So I want you to do some thinking. What is your dream? And what keeps you from pursuing it? Reach out to strangers. Ask the question. Start the business. Write the book. Move across country. Take the solo trip. Literally, now is the time to create the exact life you want. And it's so amazing when you do. Now, keep listening because I've got something that I'm going to share with you that can help change any regret you have. No more waiting, no more shrinking, no more living for everyone but yourself. Now is your time. It's your turn. And all it takes is for you to say yes. Say yes to you. Say yes to your dream. Say yes to the life that you want to live. Say yes to throwing away and throwing out the old version of you. The person who settled, the person who gave in, the person who was quieted, the person who didn't care. You do care. You do care how you show up. You do care who you want to be. You do care to pursue your dreams. You do care to get things done. You do care to take a step towards the life that you want to be creating. There's so many women out there, especially saying, well, I don't care. I'm in midlife and I don't care that I'm moody. I don't care how I look. I don't care how I dress. I don't care all these things. Doesn't mean that you have to dress up every day, but you do care to keep showing up as your best you. So don't be using that you've reached midlife and now you're just coasting through the rest of your life. Don't use the excuse that you've reached midlife and now you're too old, or it's too late for you, or you don't care how you look. You're going to show up as your best self. You're going to put forth your best effort. You're going to say, yes, I have got so many years left and I'm going to keep pursuing. I'm going to keep creating. I'm going to keep doing. I'm going to keep playing. I'm going to keep being for me because it's your time. It's your turn. So start with one yes and keep listening because there's a free guide I'm going to give you to make sure that you're building a regret-proof life right now.
Hey, I'm Blaze, and the Chase experience was my idea. I created it to help my mom, Jessica Rector. When she was traveling and keynote speaking a lot and on the verge of burnout, I wanted her to say yes to herself, to joy, and to what's possible. What started out with me helping her find a new ice cream around town had turned into a movement. So together we wrote this book, The Say Yes Experience, with 52 powerful tips to help you prevent burnout, strengthen your mental health, and live intentionally. Step outside your comfort zone. One tip, one small shift, one big impact. Ready to say yes to a better you? Grab the Say Yes Experience at jessicarector.com/store.
Burnout isn't just exhaustion, it's a warning sign that something needs to change. 90% of the workforce has been in burnout in the last year alone, according to Gallup, and it's not going away anytime soon. It's even impacting the home life, but it doesn't have to be that way. In my powerful book, Blaze Your Brain to Extinguish Burnout, 52 Keys to Prevent, Breakthrough, and Beat Burnout, I show you how to take back control, reignite your energy, and transform overwhelm into opportunity. Backed by research and real-life strategies, this isn't just another self-help book. It's your guide to lasting change, mental wellness, and saying yes to the life you deserve. Ready to break the burnout cycle? Grab Blaze Your Brain to Extinguish Burnout today at jessicarector.com/store. If you want to get a copy for your team or all your employees, reach out to me directly for rates at jessica@jessicarector.com. All right, friend, take a second. I know these last 5 probably stirred something up, and I want you to hear me when I say this. That stirring, that's good. That's your inner self saying, hey, I'm still here. It's not too late for me. I still have a whole lot of life to live. And friend, you do. You don't have to stay stuck in these patterns. You don't have to keep carrying around regrets that never meant to be part of your future. You're allowed to want more. You're allowed to start again. You're allowed to rewrite your story at any age. And because I want this shift to be real for you, I created something that you can actually use. Go grab our free guide, The 10 Biggest Midlife Regrets and How to Avoid Them Now. It's at go.sayyesexperience.com/regrets. Go.sayyesexperience.com/regrets. REGRETS. It breaks down every regret we talked about and gives you simple, practical steps to move forward. Nothing overwhelming, just clarity and momentum, the things you've been craving. So please don't wait. Don't tell yourself you'll grab it later because we know you won't do that. Later is exactly how these regrets start and how they still exist in you. This is something for you to do today, right now. So go grab the free guide at go.sayyesexperience.com/regrets. And if you have a regret or have ever said, I wish I would have, or why didn't I, and we didn't cover it, send me a quick email and let me know. Jessica@sayyesexperience.com. I'd love to chat about it because if you have it, lots of others do as well. I am here for you. Now, be mindful of the regrets that come up during the week. They might sound like, I wish I would have, or why didn't I do that? When they come up, write them down. And just also write next to it a small step toward it. Something that you can do that's easy, manageable, doesn't take a lot of time, because that's how you can go about changing it. And you can do those things now. And when you do, I want to hear all about it. Write down the regret when it comes up. I wish I would have. Why didn't I? And then write down one small thing you can do to change that. Until next time, my friend, I believe in you. Say yes, live more.